This is my duty to you guys as a retail investor as well as an ape in the ape community to help spread this positive message. And that's exactly what this video says. You have Charles Payne, Kohrs, Kenan Grace that went on Fox News to basically call out the SEC, to call for transparency, and to rile up the apes. So I hope it always feels like the day before Christmas when you're 8 years old on Sunday night heading into the next trading day. It is going to be war. It is going to be bloody. But like they call out here in this video, the end is coming, and the end is very prosperous for every single ape. So hit that like button if you are an ape and a part of this community. Spread this video as far and as wide as it possibly can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys so want to be up to date with all of the latest around AMC or any trade that'll make you guys money as well, because after all, we are retail and we are here to steal the show, baby, providing better returns than your everyday hedge funds. So let's dive into this video. I love and appreciate you guys. I will not be here at the end, so salute and see you in the next one.
So this morning we saw investor bullish sentiment dive to its lowest level since 2013. And then there was a headline in the Wall Street Journal about Wall Street Bets saying that the quote, "the thrill is gone." So without a doubt, we know, of course, it's been a wild ride for new investors in the market. The question is, will they stick with what I'm always calling the greatest money-making machine in history, or chalk it all up to experience, maybe like a game of chance and walking away? With me now, retail investors Kohrs, Meisa, Bonelli, and Kenan Grace. I've found all of you on Twitter. I've watched you for a long time, and I felt you were the perfect panel for this. There's some others out there I like as well. But let me start with you, Kenan, because I love your enthusiasm, your energy. It's always infectious. But are you still feeling that way?
I am still excited, and I want to say thank you for having me on again. It is always a pleasure. Now, AMC Apes and everyone that is listening to this, I want you to understand the original thesis still stands. We are excited because the shorts have not covered. This is how we got in, and this is how we will get out. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but we know that the original thesis still stands, and we do not let the headlines dictate how we buy, hold, or sell.
Meisa, you were working in a tax arena. You were helping a whole lot of high net worth clients out. And from what I read, you realized you needed to know more about the market. You dove right in. Tell us about it.
Thanks for having me, Charles. Before I was in the tax space helping high net worth solopreneurs, I actually worked for a global private equity firm. And there I learned how to evaluate private companies and do fundamental analysis there. From there, I moved on and worked on the trading floor of a global investment bank. And so there I learned to do fundamental analysis, research, and due diligence on publicly traded companies. And so those two experiences coupled together is what led me to be the swing trader and retail investor I am today.
Okay, because swing trading is more technical analysis than fundamental analysis. I'm going to get back to you on that. But let me bring my man Matt in as well, because you need no introduction, not least amongst the investing apes. But what's the deal, though, now? Because some of the favorite names are obviously getting hammered, getting beat up pretty good. Are you seeing cracks in the movement?
What's going on, Charles? Thank you for having me. You know, a little bit back to what Kenan said. He's completely right. The shorts have not covered. AMC, GME, both have a short interest over 20%. But what I want to dive into is the fact that these both represent a symbolic movement against Wall Street. It represents a fight for transparency that everyone deserves. Institutions, banks, Wall Street, and retail traders. And as long as we have that symbolic movement, I don't think we're going to go anywhere.
So, and to the point of the shorts not having covered, one thing I think you all agree on is that this is an unlevel playing field for many reasons and many different ways. And this is what I saw, and this is what I really appreciated with you all. For instance, we had yesterday some news on the SEC, but no one thinks that they're really stepping up to the plate. No one thinks they're going to follow through. Meisa, I saw a tweet from you with CNBC coming out with FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt about Microsoft. Overall, and I'll start again with you, Meisa, do you think the establishment, whether it's the establishment, Wall Street, the financial media, that they're ever going to give new investors a fair shake? Investors who push back on the establishment way of doing investing?
I think that Wall Street not recognizing the power of retail investors is a missed opportunity on behalf of Wall Street, Charles. At this moment in our country, as an example, there are more millennials and Gen Z than there are everybody else. And so I think that there have been a lot of instances where we make companies hot, what companies and services hot. And so Wall Street missing the opportunity to collaborate with retail investors in a way to keep their ear to the street and their ear to the ground is a missed opportunity on behalf of Wall Street. And so, no, I don't think that we're going to get a fair shake unless the DOJ and SEC steps up and forces Wall Street to do so.
Kenan, you write about this stuff all the time. You agree?
I do. And I want to say that I agree that retail investors are not on an even playing field with some of the large firms, the institutions. And you know what? With that being said, we now seen just yesterday, like you alluded to, the SEC proposed a rule change for Form PF, the private fund, that would require the quarterly requirement of reporting, or even in some cases, annual requirement of reporting for these large hedge funds and so on. They would try to reduce it to one single day. Now, this is just a proposition as it stands, but I want everyone to focus and make sure that we can just follow this story and see where it goes. Because currently, again, hedge funds, they have quarterly, in some cases, annual reporting, and they propose that it can get it all the way down to just one single business day. How is this not all over the world in terms of the headlines? We need to stay focused. If you are an AMC ape, you need to share this video so everyone can get this information so we can make sure that we are paying attention to what's going on.
I mean, I still see the AMC apes engaged. I see them saying they're going to stand firm. And it's, from day one, that's the thing I admired most. Let me ask you, Matt. I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to see if you agree with this statement. The market is rigged. I will force change, but I'm not getting out because I want to be rich. Would that be a statement that you would agree with?
Definitely agree with that. I think a lot of people engage in it right now. Why can't you have both? This is, like you said, a great vehicle for class mobility. It's a great vehicle for wealth creation. But on the other side, why can't we also fight for the market to be as strong and a free market as it's always pitched to us? I think we can have both, and I think we're on to the start. It's been a year. We're about a year old, this ape community, but I am very, very bullish on the future of it.
Call it baptism by fire. By the way, I always come on. I've been telling everyone from day one, a diamond isn't made overnight, right? It's made through years of pressure, pain, and agony. That's how you make a diamond. Meisa, would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely, and I love diamonds, so that's how they get there, through the ugly process.
It is a tough one. When you started to you dealt with really professionals, and you did the thing with the tax funds. Have you been surprised, though, Meisa, at the intensity of the opposition against individual investors? These new individual investors who, by the way, have a very diversified portfolio. We put it on the screen a moment ago. But are you surprised at just how hard the establishment has pushed back to demoralize these folks?
Absolutely, Charles. I have to say, being on the other side, being on my own as an individual and retail investor, it has blown me away at how hard and vigorous hedge funds, short funds, institutions work to get retail investors off their game. I would have never thought in a million years, being on the other side of the coin, inside, I would have never thought in a million years that institutions work this hard to take from the little guy. It's kind of like the David and Goliath bullying situation. And I never would have thought that we didn't have protections in place to help retail investors more than we do.
Yeah, we definitely need them. And I hope you all keep your voices going. Matt, Meisa, and Kenan, thank you three very much. Appreciate it.